When General Motors launched its Ultium modular EV platform, they started off with some pretty high-end halo models. We had the GMC Hummer EV Super Truck, the SUV. We saw the Cadillac Escalade IQ. But as time is going on, they are bringing out more mainstream entry-level models, and that's what this car is. The 2025 Cadillac OPTIQ, an entry-level EV crossover for the brand. And today we're going to check it out. Check out the exterior, the interior, some details, the engineering, hear from some subject matter experts, and get up close to see what the 2025 Cadillac OPTIQ is like.
So my name's Mara Kapsis. I was the lead CMF designer for the Cadillac OPTIQ. So that's color, materials and finishes. So I can share a couple of those details with you here today. One of our key elements was really having these three mantras that we worked towards with CMF. That was awake, seek and connect. Awake is about integrating conscious materials. So one of the great examples is the collection fabric here. So this fabric is a key element of the interior. It really creates a new sense of decoration. And that material is actually woven from 100% recycled yarn. So again, a wonderful innovation that we've been able to introduce here. And then of course with this beautiful aesthetic element. It's actually quite a unique placement. So we've used it on the top of the doors and then flowing into the upper instrument panel here. And again, as I mentioned, having that new sense of decoration and really this beautiful soft touch in sort of the surprise and delight element. As we move to the console here, so from a design perspective, this is a beautiful cantilever design. And then here in terms of the decoration, we've encapsulated that fabric in a high gloss finish. So plenty of roominess here. And then that actually does bring us to another innovative material, which is what we call Tide. And that is a soft touch surface here that is also made from repurposed fibers. In terms of the colors here, this is our darker interior, but you'll see another great feature here, which is our illuminated decoration. So you can see that beautiful laser etched pattern that does light up, and we do have a really broad range of over 120 colors that's offered. In terms of some other details, you'll see here, of course, integrated stitching, our seat surfaces. This particular pattern is the Piette Perf. So patterns in the interior and moving to the exterior are all very much inspired by Cadillac and that Cadillac crest. And you'll see how that's reflected in some of the repeat patterns here. From a CMF perspective, that's really our key highlights here. We're really excited to show you some of the other color offerings that we have for the Cadillac OPTIQ.
So we've got some pretty cool samples here. Walk
Yes.
us through, Mara. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so here is just a bit of an insight into our design development. You can see individually, we've got some beautiful examples of the speaker grille. So this is a true metal finish here with a beautiful laser pattern there. Here's some exploration on that backlighting that I showed you. So that illuminated decoration in the vehicle, just an insight into our design development, some pattern exploration. And then another exciting material here, this is our paper wood decoration. So this integrates, you can see a little bit of a sneak peek there. This is actually a newspaper, repurposed newspaper integrated into that wood decoration. And this is on some of our interior color offerings.
So we're using actual newspaper, because
Actual newspaper,
that's not fake. Those are.
You can see the text there, yes.
I can't read it. It's not a word that I recognize, but that's cool.
I know, yeah, a few secret messages in there. So then moving to some of these soft trims, here are some examples of our embellishment. So this is our seating material here with this beautiful Carrington Falls pattern. You can see this embroidery here. This was designed really specifically for that beautiful seat trim. And then here is our mantra perforation, and in the interior that's paired with a quilting in our beautiful phantom blue, and the Piette was what you saw earlier in the vehicle. These samples here, again, just an insight into our design development. So we use these little models to mock up the different combinations, just another look at that fabric encapsulated in that high gloss, and this is our sky cool grey, our black and black here, and then of course that autumn canyon color that we spoke about.
So speed form, it's like, you know, when they have the little mock-ups of exterior models,
yes.
It's like for an interior.
We do the same thing on interior, and it's really great because we get to play around with the placement of materials, get an idea of how they're fitting together, and really showcase them across a form as well.
That's really cool. We have full door mock-ups here. Look at
Yes.
that blue.
So this is super exciting. This is Santorini blue. And as you can see, this really flips the placement of color, bringing it into those sort of pocket areas, which are, again, typically just left a little bit undiscovered. Here we're really celebrating them in Santorini blue. So a beautiful, vibrant offering.
That is a very cool accent. And then this is that dark blue.
This is, yep, so the Phantom Blue once more. And you can see this is an earlier variation, but again, just in that design development, we do bring that color into that collection fabric. So within that one beautiful construction, we're able to do some gorgeous variations.
Hello, my name is Dylan Belansky. I'm the lead exterior designer of the Cadillac OPTIQ. Overall, it looks really planted, so the OPTIQ enabled us to, in this dynamic package that we have, enabled us to have this really wide stance. Short front overhangs with the wheels pushed all the way to the corners. As you can see, the lighting signature is welcoming us as we walk up to the vehicle right now. The lighting starts from the crest. It proceeds through the grille pattern, across the turn signals, and through the DRLs, and stacks those vertical headlights. Another detail to point out, so this really awesome Mondrian-inspired pattern that flows through the rear quarter glass into the graphic in the taillight, as you can see here. This was really inspired by one of the sketches that the designers in the studios did. And it was all about this speed and this motion, again, about dynamic and sporty appearance of the vehicle. But it also provides this really cool D-pillar graphic that typically you would see on a Cadillac, and it helps to plant this rear corner of the vehicle. Multi-layer glass, so it's actually laminated glass. There's an outer layer and an inner layer. It has a tint coat that lives between the two layers of glass, but on the inside of this first panel is this printed graphic, and it's not just printed, it's baked onto the glass. So it is part of the glass at this point, and it really creates this beautiful graphic sense that you can see from the interior as well as the exterior. I mean, it makes a very bold statement on the exterior, but it's something really cool that you can see from the interior that ties in nicely with the rest of the details throughout. Moving around to the rear of the vehicle, you've got your signature vertical tail lights, top to bottom. They really are pushed all the way to the corners, plant the corner of the vehicle, and give it a nice wide stance from a rear view as well. And then there's this beautiful push button crest on the rear to open the lift gate. So again, integration of technology and trying to style in the opening apertures and push buttons into a clever way.
Hi, my name's Tom Schinderly. I'm the lead development engineer for the OPTIQ. Come over here, excited to show you. So as a performance engineer, one of the biggest things that jump out to me when we are developing an EV is the structure is just phenomenal. At least 20% stiffer than a comparable ICE vehicle, so internal combustion engine. And what that stiffness does is it allows the steering reaction and the suspension forces to have a firm foundation to react upon. So the car is very agile right out of the box. All suspension, the vibrations, everything's absorbed in a very stiff structure. And really that starts with having the high voltage res. The battery enclosure is actually a structural element of the entire vehicle. And so that really helps stiffen up the overall torsion of the vehicle, the twisting of the body motions. And with that, we're able to kind of lean into what I call the sporty, aggressive tuning that we put on this vehicle. So just as Dylan explained, obviously the laid back windshield, the fastback design, the vehicle clearly screams sporty. And we really leaned into that when we were developing the vehicle. Another big aspect of that, so obviously built off of the structure, the next biggest thing for us would be the tire. So the tire is a dual compound. Between the sidewall and the tread compound are two different chemistries of rubber. And what that helps is the sidewalls are slightly stiffer to help with the reaction forces as you're steering. And the compound that's in the tread helps with overall rolling resistance to improve range. So a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into those tires to make sure that we're still achieving that Cadillac estimated 300 miles of range. From there, the shock tuning. So for us, the dampers, front and rear, we do have a premium damper technology called Passive Plus. The big game changer with these dampers is they have a frequency dependent valve in them that we can tune specifically for high frequency inputs. So think broken up asphalt, think expansion cracks in the freeway, frost heaves in the spring on our asphalt roads that we have here in Michigan. I'm able to tune the vehicle specifically for those events, to isolate those events so they're comfortable for the customer, while not sacrificing the lower frequency inputs. So think body motion, body roll, or heave as you're going over large bumps. We're able to add more control over those events so the vehicle stays planted, you get that sporty feeling, you have confidence as a driver, while also not giving up, isolation when you go over a larger impact. So it's truly a win-win that we're offering in what we're calling an entry-level crossover. So it's awesome that we're able to get the technology on here. This vehicle, we are dual motor, all-wheel drive, approximately 5.9 seconds, 0 to 60. And that's instant torque, right? So it really puts you back in the seat. It's really a joy to tune, and I come from the Blackwing, the V-Series team, so it was really interesting to hop into this. I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but like I said, the first time we drove it, the first prototype vehicle, just feeling that stiff structure and realizing we have extremely great bones here to work on as a development engineer has really been a treat. Also aerodynamics, so what we're doing to achieve the range has been a huge, team effort between engineering and design. So looking here at the front, we've spent many hours on this lower grill inlet. So optimizing the amount of airflow that's going through the grill to help cool the drive units and cool the res. But if you allow too much air, then you're penalizing your aerodynamics overall and sacrificing range. So a lot of work has gone into integrating this grill inlet between this long-range radar here and just our overall opening and our styling that we've been working on. And then I'll take you to the back. Very similar discussion going on in the back. Fastback design, obviously really sporty looking, really sleek, but as an engineer was not fantastic for aerodynamics. It looked great, but so we had to get to work with the design team. We've made this a pass-through, flow-through spoiler is what we're calling it. So you get high speed, high velocity air shoots across the back glass, helps clear the back glass. And then this mid-spoiler here also creates pressure on the back of the tailgate to actually reduce drag and actually help push the vehicle along. So overall, it's a win-win for range, and the vehicle looks really sharp. Another Easter egg, this tail lamp originally was completely rounded off, and so air typically likes to be really sticky, wants to stick to a surface and cling onto it as long as it can until it loses too much energy. But what we ended up doing was integrating an element with the design team that this is almost like a ramp, and it's this sharp, steep drop-off, so the air completely breaks away and you have no residual drag. So a lot of hand-holding, a lot of team meetings, a lot of late nights to make this thing achieve this 300-mile range is our target here. Active safety, right? We have no features that are optional. Everything is standard. SuperCruise is 100% standard. Fantastic system. I think a lot of people know about SuperCruise now, but it's phenomenal, and we're continuing to add more roads are being mapped daily to continue to expand the system. It's been a fantastic project to work on, and glad that we're finally able to talk about it and reveal it to the world. So thanks.
Let's take another tour of the exterior up close, see some of the details. So up front, immediately it looks familiar to the LYRIQ, the design elements of some of the new Cadillac vehicles. I have a lot of cool lighting elements from the Cadillac crest to around this grille area, which got this really cool pattern, and then the stacked lights. The welcome sequence is really cool too. A lot of this actually reminds me of the refreshed CT5 Blackwing too. Just the lighting signature obviously is going to be shared. And this is Monarch Orange, which is a very, very vibrant shade of orange, contrasting nicely with the black. We've got optional 21-inch wheels and the black fender surround right there. Almost makes it look like it's got more of a suspension lift. But overall side profile, it's got like a low roof line, the two-tone black there. It definitely is smaller than the LYRIQ, something like 6 inches shorter wheelbase, but those 21-inch wheels pushed out to the outer edges, something an EV platform allows you to do because, again, it's much more easy to package that way. You have the batteries down in the middle. No front trunk on the OPTIQ, but that was a deliberate decision that was made to optimize the interior space, the passenger space, the cargo capacity out back, so no front trunk. And then this design element, we were talking about it earlier with one of the designers, is really cool. I want to see what it looks like on the inside. The split taillights that cut down, again, the vertical lines there, so the actual body here, body color kind of goes over that, and it's very, very intricate. It's like the piano key design inside there. 450 E4 all-wheel drive. That's like the numerical nomenclature now that denotes differences. If you look at a Cadillac Escalade, it says 800 and so forth. And then OPTIQ right here. IQ is the ending kind of signature for all the electrified Cadillacs now. And then when you press the crest back here, that's how you open the rear trunk. Lift gate here. Decently spacious back here. It does have a pretty swoopy roof line, which will definitely eat into some of that space, but looks like a pretty nice sized trunk. These door handles are also interesting. They're usually flush, but then they actually hinge reversed for you to pull to go ahead and open the door. That's actually a pretty long driver door there. We already heard about some of the interior materials, but let's just get up close and see what it's like. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in. We have the light up Cadillac crest there on the door sill. Go ahead, step in. This huge screen here. This is a curved 33-inch screen. They say 9K resolution, and it's just one big continuous screen here. Nice materials for sure. A lot of little storage cubbies there, space underneath there. This is all open below, and we have cup holders here. This rotary dial is definitely nice. It reminded me a lot of the LYRIQ, how all the buttons were unique. It wasn't a part spin special anymore. Cadillac has definitely been upgrading their interior, the touch points and everything. Steering wheel here trimmed in leather with SuperCruise. So SuperCruise is standard. We have a 19-speaker AKG sound system, so those metal speaker grills are down there. A lot of cool little lighting touches too. This part is cool. That'll be really cool to see at night. I'm a sucker for nice interior ambient lighting. And this like woven yarn material is definitely a new take, because usually you think luxury cars, higher end cars, is all leather and suede Alcantara, right? And wood. So this is a cool texture. We'll see how customers like it. I liked all the different colors that we were looking at. That blue was definitely very, very cool. We have the transmission selector stalk right there. This is the, oh, if this is the same as a LYRIQ, it would be like the pressure sensitive regen braking on demand, which I thought was really cool. It's not just like you press it and start slowing down. You can like hold it harder and it slows down more aggressively, like an actual brake pedal just for your hand there. We have door controls, or the seat controls on the door here. Looks like heated and cooled. This is the door handle here. It's pretty spacious actually. We have this huge panoramic glass roof that stretches across the entire car. And let's hop in the second row to see what that's like. Let's check out the second row. Oh, not bad. My legroom is quite good in the second row, and I had the seat up there pretty comfortable for me. More of that textured woven material. I'm sure there'll be more lighting back here too. We have heated seats in the second row, USB-C charging ports. The seats have this like cut in here to give you some more knee room. If I sit up fully straight, my head is just barely brushing the roof line here, just as it starts kind of swooping back there. But at 6'2", 6'3"-ish, it's not bad. It's comfortable, definitely comfortable for a pretty small, more compact crossover. It just shows that like sometimes the EV platform packaging, they do a lot. Like the flat load floor is definitely nice. Yeah, not bad. From inside, you can see the texture on that rear window design. It just barely comes in on that. See the little shadows there too. So that's a pretty cool element. The rest of it's all hidden because it's all opaque back there with the pillar. But in that little tiny little window behind the, that'd be ABC, behind the C pillar, I think, the D pillar area, that's pretty cool. So there's a first look at the 2025 Cadillac OPTIQ. Entry-level, all-electric crossover in the lineup, around $54,000 starting price. It'll be a global vehicle available in many markets. There'll be a right-hand drive version, a left-hand drive version. Styling definitely fits in with the family. The lighting signature is very cool. Interior has some nice different materials, textures. Design is pretty nice too. Standard all-wheel drive. Reasonably affordable, good range numbers. It'll be cool to see what this OPTIQ is like on the road. Thanks for watching.